everybody. This is Dr. Lori Shemek.
And I'm Omar Cumberbatch. You're listening to This Podcast Burns Fat. Hey, Lori, what's going on? How are you today?
Hi, Omar. I'm doing great. How's everything?
Everything's good. No complaints on this
Yeah?
end. Hey.
All right. Same here. Just dealing with my cute little puppy. You know,
Nice.
yeah, looks like a little just stuffed animal, but with a little devil inside.
Yeah, no, they're tough at that age. So I
Yeah, 3 months
definitely,
old.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
I remember those days when my dog was that. They
Oh,
got in a lot of trouble.
I think I've lost pounds chasing her around.
Oh boy.
Okay, so speaking of chasing,
Hmm.
we finally got Dr. Nayan Patel on the show, and he is the owner of Auro Wellness. And this is a company he's had for a long time. And he's also a sought-after pharmacist, wellness expert, and thought leader in his industry. And he's been working with physicians and celebrities, CEOs, and physicians. And he's the author of The Glutathione Revolution: Fight Disease, Slow Aging, and Increase Energy with the Master Antioxidant. And he spent years of clinical research on this master antioxidant, which is the topic of our show today, glutathione. And I just want to say how important this topic is, because without glutathione, we're in trouble.
Yeah, no, and that was really a good episode to learn about. I've heard about it over the course of time, but I just had no idea what its true implications were. And it's great to have like one of the leading experts on this topic come to the show and really drop some knowledge on. So it was really, really eye-opening, to be honest. So it was a good show.
Yes, honored to have him on. So, just take notes and know that if you know, whatever you learn from the show is really going to help optimize your health and
No,
weight.
yep, absolutely. So let's jump into it.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Patel, how are you today? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you for showing up. We love it. We're really honored to have you here.
Absolutely. I do. I see that guys are doing great work, so I want to be part of it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, no, love that you did jump on the show and we're gonna dive into a topic, Lori. I don't think we've talked about extensively. We've of course talked about glutathione and some of its wonderful properties, but it's good to have an expert to come on and really dive into it. So we're really excited to have you. So tell us a little bit about how you actually discovered glutathione as such an important can I say it's a supplement, or maybe that's how we start. What is glutathione? How can you describe it and how you dove into it?
Absolutely. So let me make sure I keep it very clear. I did not discover glutathione. I wish I was that smart, but I'm not. It was discovered back 120 plus years ago. But what I did was, in my research as a pharmacist and knowing all the chemistry of all these molecules, I was able to stabilize the glutathione molecule outside the human body and able to deliver to the human body back in a completely intact manner, so the body can use up as is and don't have to do any manipulation. So that's my research, and that took me about good 14 to 15 years to develop it, as well as trying to figure out clinical outcomes from the molecule as to what it can do in our body for us.
Yeah, we know that glutathione is extremely important for the body. And I heard somewhere that without it in the body, we would be dead in 2 minutes, something crazy like that. Is that correct?
It's not that it will be out in 2 minutes, but it is extremely important, because every chemical reaction in your body, the byproduct of the chemical reactions in the body is reactive oxygen species, and are very harmful to the body. And glutathione literally quenches those species out and neutralizes them, so that they're not harmful anymore. If you do not do that part, matter of months to years, our body will be completely toxic, and we won't be able to survive. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty serious. Yeah, so an example of a depletion of glutathione in the body, and it's also called, isn't it the mother of all antioxidants, correct?
Yes, it
I
is.
mean, it is.
It's the mother of all. It has two properties, and the number one property, which is well known for, is for his properties against oxidative species. That's why I call it mother of all antioxidants. Versus it has also two other property. It also is a cleanser. It
Oh.
conjugates and it binds to known toxins inside your body and gets rid of it. So it's like a body's own cleanser from inside. So it has two properties, but it's well known for its antioxidant properties.
I love that analogy. So essentially, it is helping the body remove toxins, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
And so, just if you could dive into it like a little more, as far as where do we get it from? What exactly is it? How does it occur naturally? Obviously, it's something that's been a part of the human species forever because it's so obviously so important. Where did we actually stumble upon and identify it as something that was so important that we have to have it to the magnitude that we do?
So our human body produces abundantly. So an average person is not going to need glutathione supplementation at all. But what happens is that as we start aging, there's few things that happens. One is that our body's ability to produce glutathione diminishes a little bit, not to the point where we need supplementation, but it's just enough so that it says, oh my God, I wish I had a little bit more at that point, right? And at the same time, our need for glutathione in the body is also going to be either the same or increases. For example, starting the age of 21, hopefully, that's a legal age of drinking, people start consuming alcohol in one form or another. Not, I don't say that everybody's consuming alcohol, but people that do consume alcohol, the requirement for glutathione just went up higher because alcohol to neutralize alcohol in your body, you need glutathione to do that. So as we age, our needs doesn't change or it increases, but our body's ability to produce glutathione decreases. So there's a sweet spot around about the age of 30, and that's an arbitrary number, of course, but around the age of 30, what we're going to find out is that people are going to see the first sign of imbalance between what your body's needs are and what your body can produce. And there's the first gap. And as you age, the gap gets wider and wider and wider, which eventually leads to issues that are related to low glutathione levels. And like Lori said, it's the oxidative stress that increases in your body that can result in all kinds of issues. I mean, simple stuff is we talk about is weight gain. We talk about loss of energy, inflammation. It's just a few things that people can relate to. They say, yes, I do have aches and pains in the body. Yes, I am gaining a little bit of weight here and there. So those that people do notice the changes right away. And that's the first sign of glutathione imbalance in your body.
Yeah, and apparently the molecule is too big to take it as a pill, correct? Even though they try to sell it over the counter?
Yes, the molecule is, it's a tripeptide. It's comprised of 3 amino acids. So in reality, it's not a big protein molecule. It's just tripeptide. It's just 3 peptides, but it's big enough so the body cannot absorb as is. It has to break it down into various amino acids. And those amino acids are being reabsorbed to produce the glutathione. So it's really hard to take in a pill form. I, as a pharmacist, was making injectable form of glutathione as well for a while. And even then, we knew that even the injectable forms, even though we inject straight in the bloodstream, it did not actually absorb into the blood because it stayed in the plasma. The water part of the blood that's where it stayed all the time. And the plasma gets filtered by the kidneys every 14, 15 minutes. And literally in that time frame, all the glutathione is out of your system. So it's a very difficult molecule to work with. Now you know why it took me so many years, if not a couple of decades, to really figure out how to get this into your body.
How did you do that?
Oh, boy.
You know,
Day job.
for us that have no clue.
So I kept my day jobs. I was still working as a pharmacist and doing counselings and filling prescriptions and all those good stuff. But
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of free time on my own that I was dedicated all my life to one molecule, which is glutathione. And so back in 2007, we first discovered a way to stabilize a glutathione at a room temperature. And when we saw that molecule, we looked at the microscope that, hey, the molecule was small to begin with. So we even further reduced the size of the molecule so that it can get into your bloodstream pretty easily. And so that's what we did. It took us another 3-4 more years after we first originally discovered how we stabilize it to literally figure out how we get it inside your body. So there's a 2-part system, and we have patents for both of them to deliver the glutathione in a stable form through your skin into your blood.
Through the skin. That's even better because it doesn't go through the liver, right?
It doesn't go to the liver. Main thing is it doesn't go to the gut, the stomach, because that thing will destroy everything.
Oh,
So
interesting.
we bypass all those things, go straight to the bloodstream. So there's a chance for the glutathione to survive in your body for a little bit longer before it hits the liver. But once it hits the liver will soak up all the glutathione because that's where the glutathione is produced the most. Liver needs the most amount of glutathione because that's your cleanser of your body.
I love the analogy of it being a cleanser for the body. That's brilliant.
Yeah, so it's interesting. So I'm glad that you're diving into all this because I was very, very confused about just the nature of glutathione. Like I said, we did mention in the show in the past, and it's been referenced, and I just never realized that this was the case. So if it can't be in a supplement form that you take orally necessarily, and you obviously have the patent for the topical, like is there any foods that help the production of glutathione, or is there anything that we can do to naturally enhance the amount of glutathione in our system?
Yes. So you can do 2 things to naturally enhance glutathione. One, you eat the food that has the high amounts of those 3 amino acids, which is glutamic acid, glycine, and cysteine. Cysteine is something that is not abundantly found in lots of food supplements. So finding cysteine-rich foods is probably the best bet you have to increase the levels of glutathione. Cysteine-rich foods are like broccoli, cauliflower, whey protein. A lot of animal protein sources has cysteine in there. So those are good source of getting those amino acids. That's one thing to do, is to give the body the substrates to produce its own glutathione. But it's equally important to do the second part, which is reduce the consumption of glutathione, reduce your exposure to environmental toxins, reduce exposure to direct sunlight as much as possible, reduce your exposure to drinking and eating stuff that are known to be toxic to your body. And so if you can reduce the toxic load in your body and improve the supplementation through your foods, I think you won't need any other products to maintain the glutathione levels. But today, we are living in a modern day society with modern day conveniences, and nobody wants to give it up, even at the cost of them hurting the body.
I know it. That's the sad part. And, and I, on social media today, I put out about excess sitting, and how just sitting 6 hours a day increases your all-cause mortality by 19%. And it's easy to do. When you sit, you just want to sit more.
Yes.
And so, it's just, but that's what, to underscore what you said, that's exactly right. When it's too convenient, too easy, we don't want to give that up.
We don't. Yep.
Yeah. So can I ask you, what are your thoughts about the recent studies that have come out, GlyNAC, glycine, and NAC, and acetylcysteine?
So, you know what? Those are great products because that are essentially the building blocks for glutathione. So GlyNAC is glycine plus N-acetylcysteine, right? Glycine is readily available in your diet. So is it necessary to take glycine? Maybe, maybe not. Unless your diet doesn't have that amino acid. Yes, you can take Glynac, or you can just take N-acetylcysteine, and that should and the rest of the components are easily available in your diet. So cysteine is all you need, I would say. But some people may take glycine and cysteine, and some people take all three: glutamic acid, glutamine, glycine, and cysteine, and all three can be used as a building block. But there's a small substrate of patients that I have. They have a mutation, a gene mutation, that they don't have the enzymes to take those three amino acids and make glutathione out of there.
Oh, interesting.
So keep in mind the gene mutations. The theory of the theory of aging or longevity. What does it start from? Starts from there are 8 hallmarks of longevity, and people talk about all this time that, hey, the reason the pace of aging, a pace of when you're going to die, depends on your exposure to toxins and Auro species that causes genomic instability, leads to telomeres attrition or reduction of telomere lengthening, causes epigenetic alterations and loss of proteostasis, how the proteins are made in your body. Those 4 things are the number one reason why people are exposed to from the environmental toxins that causes damage to the body. That will eventually leads to deregulated nutrient sensing, so that all the foods you eat is not going to be absorbed very well, mitochondrial dysfunction, so your loss of energy, and cellular senescence, which is the cells are stop multiplying and become zombie cells and dead cells, and which we have to
which cause more inflammation.
More inflammation. There you go. And eventually that would leads to 2 things, which is altered intracellular communication. So cells are not talking to each other properly, and stem cells exhaustion, right? Eventually give up. And so this is the hallmark. This is the hallmark for how we age. And all this thing starts from one thing, right? What's changing the telomeres shortening or the genomic instability? It's the exogenous damage, outside environmental sources that's causing the damage to the body, to the DNA, or internal endogenous ROS species or free radicals that is doing the same exact thing. And we have one thing to actually nullify both of them, which is a body's ability to produce glutathione enough or abundantly that can get rid of the harmful chemicals that we're exposed to, as well as neutralize all your ROS species in your body every single day, preventing from DNA damage that is actually causing all those alterations in your body. So I'm going back to your Glynac supplementations. As these alterations are happening, some people, and I see this all the time in my pharmacy, is they have a gene mutation that they're not able to produce glutathione. So you can give all the Glynacs or all the cysteines and all the diets in the world, but they are not able to take those 3 amino acids and make glutathione out of it. And they age prematurely faster. They have foggy brains, foggy thinking, and the memory loss issues. And I'm not sure if that's the cause of Alzheimer's, but I would say that if the researchers are looking into this part, they should be looking into much more detail, because that, I think, is what leads to all kinds of oxidative damage in the further up. So then the supplementation of glutathione that actually doesn't get broken down is ideal, but until now, it was not available.
Wow.
Oh, Doc, I wanted to spin back on something that I thought that you mentioned, which was kind of interesting. You mentioned like direct sunlight could have a negative impact on glutathione.
So direct sunlight is good and bad for you. Direct sunlight for first few minutes gives you enough energy to actually help body produces more glutathione. But what happens is that overexposure to sunlight, now it goes past beyond the oxidative stress a little bit to now too much oxidation inside your body. So too much sun exposure can actually increases ROS species in your body, reactive oxidative species, and becomes harmful. But a little bit is actually really, really good for you.
And how little is a little bit? What are we talking minute wise?
10 minutes or less.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I mean, if you cover your body most of the body is covered up anyways. So that is okay because only certain part of the body is exposed. But if you're, let's say, if you're just wearing your underwear and you're standing out in the sun in the morning, and if you stand for 10 minutes, that is all you need to have energy for the full day. And no sunblock.
No sunblock. Okay.
For that time.
Yes, doctor. No sunblock. So is there an interaction with glutathione with other vitamins like vitamin C and E? Is that something that is beneficial to the other nutrients in our body? Sorry.
Absolutely. So glutathione, the reason it's called mother of all antioxidants is because it potentiates the effects of other known antioxidants. Like human body does not produce vitamin C, right? Mammals don't produce vitamin C because a body has glutathione.
Don't dogs, though? I think dogs do.
Dogs do, probably. I'm not 100% sure, but maybe they do, right? Humans don't produce. Humans don't produce vitamin C. So I know about humans right now. I haven't dogs that much yet. Humans don't produce vitamin C. So our body produces enough glutathione to actually do all the work that vitamin C is supposed to do, which is an antioxidant. But what vitamin C and vitamin E and alpha lipoic acids and L-carnosine and all these known antioxidants, what they actually do is they revive oxidized glutathione in your body. So let me tell you a little bit about chemistry of glutathione. Glutathione is in a reduced form. When it neutralizes a reactive oxygen species, it becomes oxidized. And oxidized glutathione is actually an inert molecule inside your body that is not reactive at all. That inert molecule can take energy from vitamin C or vitamin E or even sunlight and revive itself again to become reduced form of glutathione. So what all these molecules do is actually they're helping hands to keep on reviving the glutathione back into making it alive so it can keep on doing the work it's supposed to do, is to reduce the oxidative species in our body.
So Doc, can you sorry, go ahead, Larry.
Go ahead. No, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I was just curious because again, like I know that you isolated this molecule and really interested how exactly what that is and what it looks like. So I understand it's topically and what is the delivery mechanism that you utilize, and what would be like the first thing you would say to a person to identify that they actually need glutathione?
So identification of a person who needs glutathione, that's very hard to say. Anybody about the age of 40, I can rest assured to tell them that they are going to need glutathione no matter who they are and what kind of shape they are in. They could be in the best shape in the world. Their body still needs some levels of glutathione. Between the age of 30 to 40 is a gray area. And I see a lot of patients they're having early onsets, memory losses, low in fatigue levels, or multiple pregnancies can also diminish glutathione levels because the amount of stress on a woman's body is intense when they have a baby. And so the stress actually depletes the glutathione levels as well. And so between the 30 to 40 is always a gray zone. 40 and above, I don't think that there's anybody who does not need glutathione supplementations. Either they're optimized by food intake, reducing the exposure to all the known toxins and all the known elements that cause depletion of glutathione levels, or just or do both, supplement as well as reduction of all this exposure. And what are they going to see? What I have seen in my patient load is the first thing they have noticed is an intense amount of energy. And that's the first thing they notice. They may not notice anything different, but one thing they notice is they see an increase in the energy load. And the reason is because to make glutathione, the body uses a lot of ATP, which is the energy source to produce glutathione. Now, if you take glutathione, that energy source is preserved or reserved for something else. So all of a sudden, now you have some energy to work with. So that's the first thing people notice. And and everybody has all various disease of conditions they have developed because of oxidative stress. And if they work with the physicians, if the doctors tell them that, hey, your issue is because of metabolic disorders, because of oxidative stress, they are going to see a tremendous difference in their life in the next 2 to 3 months by optimizing glutathione levels.
I'm just curious, do you take your own skin patch every day? Do you use it?
So I have this molecule in my bag for the last 14 plus years. For the first 4 years, I did not give to anybody because when I first gave it to myself, a few other people, we saw that this was too strong for us. And so right away I realized that there's something unique about this product, or the way we deliver this thing, that I really have to study intensely to figure out how much to give you, how often to give you, how long can I give it to you for, and when do I stop it, when do I start it, all those things. I had to do all of the studies ahead of time to make sure that it's actually doing good for my customers. So first 4 years, nobody used it. 10 years ago, the first 2 people that started using this product was my dad and my research scientist with me that works with me for the last 20 plus years. So him and my dad were the first 2 patients, and they fit the age group that they need the glutathione supplementation right away, right? I was still in my 30s, so I said, maybe I can bypass it right now. But they were well over their 50s and 60s, so I said, yep, you guys need it. So those 2 people are the longest using people on this planet today. And I can tell you their story as well, of what their journey has been like as well. It's been remarkable. I personally have been using for the last 4 years, religiously, every day. So
and you feel great.
I feel,
I'm sure you do.
Every single day, I feel like I need to be shouting on top of this world and letting people know how great I'm doing. I want people to literally experience this for the first time. I said, do it. Just do it for yourself, and get in touch with the body. And I tell all my patients, I said, we assume that when I say the medical community, I'm talking about myself and all the doctors that are out there. We are here to take care of you, but only thing we can do is advise you what to do. At the end of the day, patients, you are in the driver's seat. You got to take the health in your own hands, and you got to do things that's right for you, right?
That's exactly right.
Yeah, if you tell you to eat the right food, we're not there in your house every single day, right? we just advisors, or we just educators to the patients, letting them know what needs to be done correctly. So I wish people can listen to me that, hey, take this advice upon it and try yourself. And the only way you'll see the benefits if you're in tune with the body and you can see how you feel and how you react and how you respond to different things in your life. And if I tell you the stories I hear every single day from my patients and my customers, it is, I'm so blessed that I've been able to help thousands and thousands of patients over the last four years alone since we launched the product, and how remarkable people's journey has been.
Wow.
And it's, I wish I can say a lot of things. I'll tell you, I'll share a story from my dad, because that part I can share with you. He's 87 years old. He has given the permission for me to talk about him openly. And I put his story in my book, so it's not like I'm not telling something different. But his story has been remarkable. 45 years ago, when he was in his early 40s, he developed blood pressure issues, diabetes, type 2 diabetes, and arthritis. 10 years ago, he had a stent put in his heart because of his complete occlusion of his artery. And the doctor was surprised to see that he was still breathing in and kicking in. And he was scheduled his angioplasty to put a stent in his heart, in one of his veins. So anyways, all these things happened 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And then shortly after that, I put him on a glutathione. Today, he's past 87, he's going to be 88 pretty soon. He is free of diabetes. That means his sugar level is well under control. His A1C doesn't rise above 5.4. which is the normal, is anything under 5.7 is normal. He has no arthritis issue. He walks 6 miles per day, pain-free, enjoys his life, and his blood pressure has been normal with zero to no medications. And he is in best shape of his life today, enjoying life, traveling the world by himself, and doing whatever he wants to do and not have to worry about anything else. And the one thing he tells me that he keeps on saying this, saying, oh my God, I just met one of my old friends from 40 years ago, and he could not believe how good I look. And he says this to me almost on a weekly basis because he meets so many people, and he keeps on telling me that, you see how good I look? I think I'm aging gracefully. I said, Dad, look at your picture from 15 years ago, and look at yourself today. And he has not changed.
Wow. That's impressive.
Yeah, so I'm glad that you shared the story about your father.
Yeah.
I'm dying to hear a story that it talks about the weight loss world a little bit. Like, what does glutathione do in weight management and that world?
So absolutely. So think about it. One of the causes of major weight issue is insulin resistance. And insulin resistance is basically body producing too much of insulin, and it's nowhere to find the glucose. And it's a spin, right? The insulin resistance produces the highest amount of oxidative stress in your body, right? So even though glutathione may not have a direct impact on weight loss, I cannot tell that, hey, if you apply glutathione twice a day for this many months, you can lose 10 pounds. I wish I can say that part. Otherwise, I'll be a multi, I don't know what kind of amount I can make.
Billionaire.
But it will be more than what I can consume, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But it reduce oxidative stress markers, gives the body the chance to recuperate, and what are nutrients you're taking, you're absorbing better. So it's a Goldilocks effect. That means it helps mitigate some of the situation, but doesn't throw the body into a turmoil. So it gives the body the fighting chance to help with the weight loss. Now, I'm telling you, the biggest craze today as a pharmacist I've ever seen in my lifetime is this product called semaglutide that everybody's talking about, injections for weight loss. And I've been dealing with so many weight loss clinics all over the United States. And I've been talking to so many of these doctors, and every one of these doctors that I'm talking to, they have added glutathione into the regimen with all the other medications they're taking, and the results they're seeing are pretty dramatic, not for weight loss, but how the patients are feeling about it. Because when you lose weight, you gain right back if you don't do anything different, right? And so what these people are feeling, they're gaining control of their body and their mind. They're feeling good. They're losing the weight, but they're gaining a lot more energy. They're having better eating habits. The skin is getting rejuvenated, because when you lose weight, you also lose a lot of nutrients. And for some reason, this is really helping them with the nutrients absorption as well. I don't know. I'm not sure how, but it might have to do with what we talked about earlier about how it's affecting the genomic instability and the loss of proteostasis caused by RS species that deregulates the nutrient sensing. And I'm assuming that's what's helping that. But again, a lot more studies are required, but the weight loss patients are using it in conjunction with other products, and it's really the magic thing to reduce oxidative stress.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
Our show is all about the weight loss, so that's one of the things that I wanted to dive into. But I do want to wrap with the idea of just mentioning a little bit more about your product specifically. And again, it's a topical product from my understanding, and
Yes.
you use nanotechnology to get.
Yes.
That's interesting because, I guess nanotechnology's got a bad rap over the last few years. I'm just curious how it plays into, your product, and why is it not a bad thing?
The thing is, the bad thing, if it's good or bad, it comes from knowledge, comes from ignorance or proper knowledge. For example, people use Febreze in the house all the time. Febreze is based on nanotechnology completely. Okay. yeah, you spray all day long to get odors out of your out of your house and using nanotechnology. But something as a drug comes up as nanotechnology, that people say, oh, wait a second, let me learn more about it. But what this is I'm not sure about the technology piece. I want to share what I have done. So, and the technology was secondary, right? My goal was not to make a nanotechnology product. My goal was to stabilize glutathione and deliver it through your skin. It just so happened that by when I want to do that part, the molecule has to be small enough to get through your skin in the first place. So that's the reason why the technology piece comes in as a nanotechnology. So this is the first product in the world to use the molecule dextrins to actually deliver through your skin. And so that's why the patents were issued to us, because we have used a bunch of sugar molecules combined together in a cyclic format and to trap the glutathione inside those cyclic molecules and send it through your skin. And the sugar molecules, even if you're diabetic, guess what? The sugar molecule stays on your skin, so you don't absorb it, so it doesn't affect your sugar levels at all. In fact, if I reduce oxidative stress down, it can also reduce the sugar levels down, not increase it. So that's the technology we have. We've taken sugar molecules, and the old technology that we're using for nanotechnology were liposomes technology, where they were using some lecithin-based product, soy-based product, to encapsulate any molecules and to deliver that to your body. But they were not true liposomes. They were basically emulsions of these molecules. And that's why I think the patients have negative view towards nanotechnology, because they were not truly nanotechnology. They were microemulsions, so to speak. But this particular product is, if you see the bottle, is like water. It's completely clear. It's like water. And if you put it under the microscope, you'll see like caviar, like small beads of this molecule. Of course, you have to use an electron microscope because you can't see nanoparticles on a regular microscope. But if you see an electron microscope, you can see this like a caviar of molecules on one on top of each other. And it's just one of those beautiful things that, if it's done correctly, the body absorbs immediately, and the results will speak for itself. I have no doubt that if anybody tries it for 30 days, they're going to notice something different in the body.
No, that's awesome. Thanks for breaking that down for us. Yeah, I really appreciate that. So, Doc, I guess to wrap, we would love to see where we can get more information about your product, and just, your website, your social media handle, and just how we can, get this product and learn a little bit more about it.
Absolutely. The best way to get information is to go to my website, aurowellness.com, AURO Wellness, WELLNESS.com. On there, sign up for the newsletter. I really put my heart and soul in weekly to write write a newsletter and keep my patients and my customers abreast of what I'm learning and what I'm reading out there. And I really want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to try it. And so when you sign up for the newsletter, we give a discount code to buy the product for the first time, because I want people to try it out. The flagship product is called Glutaryl. I gave a chemical name to it because, I'm a geeky, nerdy guy, chemist. So I gave a chemical name to my product, unfortunately. It's called Glutaryl, and the Glutaryl Plus is the stronger version of the same product. As you can imagine, I have a lot of athletes and super athletes and multi-billionaires that are my customers, and they have all the money in the world, and they want to be the best product. And so they think that the expensive products are better for them, but not really. You take what's necessary for you. And if you ever have a question, send an email out to us, to our support team, and we will respond back to you to decide what's the right product for you if you have any questions. But before you do anything, get a copy of my book, The Glutathione Revolution. It's something that it's what I have seen over the last 12 years, what's working for my patients, and I put all the stories and what I've seen in the book to help hopefully get you intrigued and interested into trying it out for yourself.
I love it. Yeah, no, thanks so much.
That's fantastic. So nice. Such great information too. And really one of the most important nutrients we can get in our body, whether we make it endogenously, we take it with your system or any way we can get it, is definitely, we need to do that. So, just like everything else seems to go south after 40. So if you're over 40, take heed.
Yeah, no, definitely. All right, Doc. Thanks for being on the show today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of This Podcast Burns Fat. We're so excited to have you as a listener, and we're hoping that you've really enjoyed the content as well. And if you did, please run over to iTunes and provide a rating and or review. It will go a long way in helping us continuously build our listenership up so that we could provide you with excellent content regarding fat loss, weight management, and just an overall healthy lifestyle. Thanks so much. Have a great night.